Just saying. Oh, Lord. Man, oh, man. We just sit and stare at each other for 20 minutes or so. Holy bat crap, Batman. So, what am I making today? We're gonna do a couple of different things, but predominantly this little Valentine's Day themed gift card holders, which I just realized are not listed, so I'm gonna have to create a listing for those really quickly because it's been okay. Why won't you open? You can't watch your own YouTube channel from your own YouTube channel, which is very weird. So, good morning, Athena. How are you? Here we go. So, make sure volume's turned down there. I'm gonna turn this here. I've got like 15 things going here because for some crazy reason, I decided, okay, there's that. Nice. I decided that I was going to, well, first of all, I had to keep pushing the start time back for this because I was finishing up like some details on some of this stuff. Okay, that's fine. Then I decided that I wanted to stream to YouTube and Facebook. So hello on YouTube and Facebook. If you are watching, give me a minute to get myself together here because getting live for this was more than was a thing this morning. So I've got 2 iPads going and so it's it was 5 degrees here, actual air temperature, and -20 as of like an hour ago, and it's dropping. And then I've got my laptop going because the laptop's the only way, well, I guess on Facebook and YouTube I can now see what you all see, so I probably don't need my laptop. But I do need to do one thing. Yeah. I did all this work to get these gift card things done and then didn't add them. And didn't put them in the show. Okay, so I'm going to do that real quick. How is everybody other than freezing cold? Is there anywhere right now that it's not freezing cold? I'm sure there is. And if so, can I come hang out with you? Can I come live with you for a few days? And I'm just going to call them gift tags. That's not really what they are. And the quantity is in as 5. That is not all that I have. Let's see. No, why do I do that? Okay, give me 1 second. Sorry, you guys. I know this is like bad. This is bad seller behavior. Oh, goodness. Okay, so now, let's just do it this way. In the show, okay, let's pin this, so you all can see it, and run it as a flash sale for a couple of hours. We're going to get it together here. Okay. All the things are ready. Oh yeah. No, we're getting pretty darn cold. Hey Sherry, how are you? Okay, looks like over here I am frozen on YouTube, so let's see if we can. Okay, that's better. Hi. All right, we're gonna get it together, and of course today is one of those days where I'm on the clock a little bit. But I was also supposed to start this show like half an hour, 45 minutes ago. So, all right, give myself a little bit of warning. I am going to put my camera down here so we can see what I'm doing. Welcome in, everybody. How is everybody today? I've got Facebook, YouTube, and whatnot going. Facebook or YouTube keeps freezing on me. So we will see how that goes. So this is essentially what we're making today. It looks a little different now because I made some tweaks to the design. This was my sort of test run from my original design. There were a couple of things that didn't quite look the way I wanted or fit the way I wanted, so I tweaked that a little bit. Why did that print purple? I'm gonna have to go back and look at this. Okay, but the first thing I wanted to, that looks purpley too. That's weird. Okay, well, I'll take a look at that. But first thing I wanted to show you, so this is my freebie Friday for this week. It's a list of Valentine's Day sentiments and then 3 different, Mary, Jessica, hello, how are you all doing today? Jessica, why are you not modded? I'm going to moderate you, my love. Hodag, how are you? And then got the bows. So I do a freebie Friday every Friday on my website. It's Girl Friday Crafts /freebie Friday. So this is this week's. It's free for the first week. After that, it goes into my printable vault and everything's $2. I know, right? And my getting live was like an ordeal. I appreciate that, Mary. And then I kind of designed the sentiments to go with last week's freebie Friday, which is a set of bookmarks. It's these 2 pages, and then there's a 3rd page that doesn't have any writing on it. And then the printable papers are just so you can like make things double-sided and all of that stuff. So, hi Maria, how are you? So that is on my website as well. And all of that actually can also be used with this, which is what we're making today. So again, this is kind of our little finished product. And a big shout out to Mary with Hog Wild Designs, who's watching right now on Whatnot, who helped me with some of these designs. So if you're watching on Whatnot, this is in my buy it now right now. It's actually running on a flash sale. If you are watching on Facebook or YouTube, there is a little QR code up in the top of your screen. I can't even get my finger in the camera to show you because you're not looking at me, but up in the top corner of your screen, there's a little QR code, and that will bring you over into Whatnot. So to make a purchase with these on flash sale. So I apologize that none of this stuff is cut out yet because I like to have things cut out first, but I was making small edits to this design until like 9 o'clock last night. And then getting my Freebie Friday put together. And then getting all of this stuff like on the website, listings created, and all of that always takes longer than I think it's going to. So I'm just proud of the fact that I remembered to kick off the print job this morning at like 8 o'clock so that at least I had a decent version ready to go and cut out for this. I know, right? So I have to actually leave the house today. Not happy about it. I have an appointment to get my hair cut, which I actually thought about canceling. However, we have like no milk. We're almost out of bread. And I was like, all right, well, we aren't making it till Sunday. Oh, I have to go. Oh, I do have to go to the post office. Oh, that's already in my car. I have orders from my Whatnot show on Wednesday that need to go to the post office. A smarter Whatnot seller than me would have gotten all that packed up and to the post office yesterday instead of waiting until last night to finish packing it all up. But I have to drop all that off. I did a Target pickup order because that's what I was afraid of by the time I like get out of the house and get to my appointment. Amber, hello, cuz. How are you? Okay. Can you guys actually see what I'm doing here? Because on my YouTube and Facebook feed, it doesn't look like it. So try and move that over. Hello, everybody. So yeah. So I was like, well, if I have to go get that stuff anyway, like just in case, I don't know how much snow we're going to actually get. There's a couple of different models for us. Yesterday, the prediction was 5 to 8 inches for us in the next 72 hours. And now it's, oh, Amber. Ugh. And now it is like 1 to 3. So we may not get that much snow. We may get a foot of snow. Who the hell knows? But it's going to be bitter cold. And so if my, yeah, right. If my husband doesn't have to go to the grocery on Sunday, I'm sure he would probably appreciate not having to do that. And on top of it, I woke up with a sore throat this morning, which is usually my like indicator that I'm getting sick. Working to schedule a Whatnot show next Thursday gives me all weekend. Yes, I prefer doing shows on Thursdays or Fridays, or even I don't do a lot of Whatnot shows on Saturdays, but that because of the weekend. But I am in a Wednesday raid train, which is great. Had a good show Wednesday, very fun group, really enjoyed it. So happy to be in it. But that does change the timeline for getting packages out the door. But my husband said I was snoring last night, and so I was like, okay, well, that's probably why my throat hurts. I don't think that's why my throat hurts. Oh, yeah. Ours too, Amber. And we have one dog that he likes to go out and bark. It's our anxiety baby. And here lately, he's gone back to that place where I have to go get him to come in. And I'm like, you're going to do that to me with this kind of cold? And I'm going to be mad. Okay. So we're going to cut in stages. 1, so you can see the whole thing. And 2, because there's a part of this that I always forget to do if I don't do it this way. Okay. So these are intended to be double-sided. Now, you don't have to do it this way because there's plain paper. Not plain paper, but patterned paper in the kit. So if you wanted not to have the notes on both sides of these, you could glue this to the pattern paper and cut it out and just make a pattern or any of your own paper or anything like that. Thank you, Jessica. Girl called Fred. Try to remember, call people by their whatnot. But that's the intention, right? And then on top of that, you have these little hearts. So this was inspired by, it's hard for me when I know people's names, not, you know, when my whatnot people are on and I know people's names. It's hard for me not to call people by their name. So I try to kind of remember to do both. But these were inspired by another design, one of our Papercraft Socials designs. And yeah, who are you talking to? And the fall and Christmas ones had like actual coffee cut, like toppers. So, you know, like a pumpkin spice latte and a whipped mocha and all that. One, I haven't figured out how to create designs like that yet. Two, there's not really any like Valentine's specific coffees, so I just went with little hearts as our little toppers. But this is the part that invariably when I was putting these together, I would put all the cups all the way together and then realize that I forgot to do the toppers. Now they're still cute without the toppers, don't get me wrong. I was like, that's half the fun part is the toppers. So other than staying inside and keeping warm, anybody have plans for the weekend? Anything going on? Anything exciting happening? Or is the fact that you have no plans for the weekend the exciting thing happening? That's often my sort of situation. It's like, oh, you have crochet commissions, but oh yeah, you got to get your sleeves done, Amber. So if you're a seller on Whatnot, drop that in the chat. Let everybody know so they can bookmark and follow. When's your next show coming up? Try and finish organizing. Make as many crochet nuggets. I saw those yesterday. Those things were so cute. I love my little cat, by the way. My little black crocheted black cat. I love him. I need a Whatnot trinket shelf now. So that's one. Babysitting youngest. Aww, Mary, how fun. How fun, how fun. I know, I'm super excited. So in a couple of weeks, I have to go to Chicago for work. And my best friend's daughter is pregnant with her first. And they are actually moving to, her and her husband are actually moving to Brazil. Mid-February. And I am just going to make it in time to be able to see her in her big old pregnant belly. She's having a baby shower this weekend, but I was not able to make it to Chicago for the shower. I was like, I'm not going to make it, but I'm going to be there. If you're still there. She's like, yep, just in time. So I get to see her, which will be really great. I'm hoping at some point we'll go over to Brazil and visit her. Keep telling my two girlfriends that we do trips together. I'm like, okay, so I'm feeling like a girl's trip to Brazil to see Susan is in order. So that might happen someday once they get there and little Bambino's born and they get set and stuff. Athena, you're making dragons? Oh, I love that. Oh, how cute. I want to see a picture of that when it's done. I swear one of these days I'm going to figure out how to do rounds on crochet. Jessica, I have your video. I just haven't sat down with it. All right. Now, when I did... okay. So for some weird reason, these aren't lining up quite right, even though I have flipped them in Canva and they're the same size. It doesn't matter because this part's going to be covered. So as long as the hearts line up, that's okay. Cousin and his wife had a baby, keeping him away in October. Yay! That's exciting. That is exciting. And I don't know where my glue stick has run off to. So we're going to use some liquid glue here. And I'm going to line this up at the top. And flip this around so I can see it. Nice thing about the liquid glue is you do have a little bit of time to move things around so that they get lined up. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, so I probably need to log off about 12:15, 12:20. I gotta head out around 12:30-ish for an appointment and then to go make sure we have milk and stuff for the weekend. So if I do not see you later, I will see you over the weekend maybe. Bye, Mary. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate you. Thanks for your help with this design. I am in Central, yes. I am Central time zone. And unlike what JJ Shopper says, we are a real time zone as well. Julia always refers to Eastern as the only real time zone. I'm like, I grew up in Eastern time zone. Doesn't that count? Okay, so then you will put your heart in between your two little coffee cup inserts. And it's really kind of up to you how much of the heart you want to show, right? It's 12. Oh, yeah, that's right. You are in Eastern. So that's about as far up as you can have it and have the little anchor points hidden. I was putting them down just a little bit lower, kind of like that. Now I am going to ink this a little bit. And I did finally get my, nope, where is the, here we go. Did finally get my scorched timber re-inker. Drop a little bit in there because this baby was running dry. Like super dry, not even absorbing. Okay, put a little more in there. Just shake this up actually. There we go. Soak it in. Come on, baby. I almost accidentally did this with alcohol ink the other day. I grabbed a bottle. I was like, oh, there it is. Because I thought I had re-inker for this. And I actually fortunately looked at the bottle before I turned it over, and no, that would not have. That would have been very bad. I think you're probably supposed to let this sit a little bit before you use it, but that's okay. I can add more to it later. This morning I was like, you know, I need to do a whatnot show where we just organize my craft room together. Maybe that would make me finish it. I'm so close to being really done. Just need some motivation. Actually, I have to do a little craft room tour on a YouTube video next week, so that's probably going to be my motivation to finish it. Or at least there's a couple of things, like I need a new stand for my printer, because when I rearranged, stuff didn't quite fit where I want it to, that sort of thing. 910. Oh my god, Jessica, that's amazing. That is amazing. Because where did you start the month? I'll go ahead and ink these two real quick. Jessica, that is so exciting. So happy for you, my friend. That is awesome. So after yesterday, so I'm still trying to get to 250. After yesterday, I think I'm at, not yesterday, Wednesday. I think I'm at 125, maybe. So that's kind of exciting. And hopefully, if I'm not like dying, I have sort of a closet clean out show scheduled for tomorrow. So I'm hoping that might push me over 150, which would make me really happy. Oh, I'm at 127? Sweet. Thanks, Amber. And then we've got Battle of the Best on Sunday. And so, I mean, typically battle items sell. And I've got a few other things. Like I have a Stanley that I'm going to run in that show. I only have 5 minutes, so I can't run a lot. Because of my battle item has to run for 2 minutes. But there'll probably be a couple other things that sell in that show. So yeah, so I'm good. Like I've said, this is a slow burn for me. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, shows like that, like I tried to have, I didn't round that edge. Like stickers and stuff, because a lot of times people will come in and, you know, they want to support. I saw that. I have an in-person class on the 7th, which usually I'm dead by the time they're done. However, it's early, like it's a morning class, so I could potentially get my act together and come home and do something that afternoon. But yeah, I just saw that this morning. For Battle of the Best this weekend, if you raid into the preview show, which is tonight at 8 Central, so 9876, with 10 or more people, or either of the 2 intermission shows on Sunday, and I don't remember what time those are, but those are CG Boomerang Echoes shows, so you can find those there. With 10 or more people, you will get invited into a private VIP like giveaway show. Oh yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. And the anti football raid train. Well, let me know if you do, because then I would make sure to get it together. So my cut job isn't great. You know, I've got some white right there, but what I end up doing is I'll end up taking like a brown distress crayon or Sharpie or something like that and just coloring that in, because or take a Q-tip. Oh, that actually is not working too bad. Sometimes the ink daubers aren't small enough to get into some of those little spaces. But Q-tips work pretty well for that. Oh my God, you all, I did it again. Did you all just sit here and watch me do that? What did I talk about? I do every single time. Oh, I wish Mary was still here. She cracks up at me because I do it every time. I even cut the heart out first and everything. Okay, so we're going to take this. Nope. Where's my... let's see. All right. I mean, seriously. And I think that's part of the problem is I've messed it up so much that now when I do these in my head, I just mess them up because I'm like, that's how that goes. So thanks, Jessica. So Athena, there's supposed to be a little topper. This little heart topper is supposed to be in this cup, and it's supposed to go in between the two. And I was telling everybody earlier that I have a horrible habit of, come on, I just need a little bitty spot, of getting sidetracked and gluing these pieces together and forgetting to put the topper on. So I cut the hearts first. This time, thinking that that would help me not do that. And then I get going and I get talking away. And lo and behold, I mean, I can cut another one, but I really don't want to make you all sit and watch that. It's probably better than making you all sit here and watch me slice my finger open, though. Okay. Good grief. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to do it this way. All right. I'm going to glue this to here because I can fix this later by just dropping another one of these on this. Okay. So we're going to drop that heart on there like that. I have one cut from I don't think I have one cut from my sample. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Now I'll cut another piece and cover that side later. That's fine. So you got your little heart that goes on there as the topper. Every time, y'all, every single time, it never fails. Every kit I have of these, the pumpkin spice latte ones from the fall, the Christmas ones, there's enough to make 3 of these little holders, and I'll get one that's made right because I mess up the other ones. Okay. So then we make our little pouch pocket thingy. So this is a 2-piece. Now this part I don't have any problem with. So this is the first, I was super excited about this one because this is the first full kit that is 100% my design. So all of the other kits that are on my website, that are in my whatnot bin, that is a product that I am licensed to sell and to teach. But in the fall, I started getting into creating digital downloads, and I'm really having fun with it. And so I was like, okay, it's time to start trying to create my own like full kits. And these seems easy enough to start with. So I did do an ephemera folder at around Christmas, like a Christmas themed ephemera folder as one of my freebie Fridays. And that was definitely a step up in terms of like, I didn't have to, but I went live on YouTube to like walk through how it gets put together. And that was the first of my freebie Fridays that I felt like I needed to do that, because most of them are just, simpler printables, which is also fine. So the next thing, I am teaching a junk journaling class to a group of Girl Scouts. Green and Leafy. Hello, how are you? Welcome in. Thanks for joining. Gloria's Treasures. I've been missing people. I apologize. Thank you so much for hopping in, hanging out with us on this very cold, stupid cold Friday afternoon. I am making these little Valentine's Day coffee cup gift card holders. All right. Ow. Hello to everybody on YouTube and Facebook. I apologize. I've been neglecting you all. Okay, now this is the weird thing, and I'm going to have to ask. Mary hopped off, and I'm going to have to ask her. So you see how these are almost like basically straight edges, right? This is how it printed. But on Canva, when I look at it on Canva, this is angled like it's supposed to be. So it's supposed to be like this, because it makes it easier to put together. And that's what it looks like on Canva. That is not what it's printing like, and I do not understand why. So I'm going to have to ask. There's a couple of people I'm like, okay, y'all, look, why does it look like this on Canva and that's not how it's printing? And even like this little part, it's supposed to be angled. So it's supposed to look like that when it prints. And again, that's what it looks like on my screen in Canva. It's an Epson Eco Tank. And that's the first, like anything else I create in Canva and print looks exactly the way it's supposed to. I have no idea why this looks different. Where is my... Oh, I keep moving stuff on myself, y'all. There it is. Yeah, I mean, I noticed it when I made my little sample, but I thought it was something in the design. So then when I went in to make some of the edits to the design, I was like, okay, this fixes it, because now it looks right on the screen. And then I printed them this morning, and I'm like, okay, I don't understand. That's not what that's supposed to look like. And the screen looks the way it's supposed to. So I'm getting there with Canva. It doesn't do all of the things that I want to do, so I'm also learning Procreate. And then really like to learn Photoshop at some point. But I'm getting there with Canva. I'm learning. I use it a lot to create stuff for, social media posts and things like that more than anything else. But okay, so that folds up like that on the back. And then we're going to use double-sided tape for this part, because I get too heavy-handed with the glue, and it ends up going everywhere. And then I can't get, it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. So I can get my score tape. Could probably stand to use some wider tape on this one, but that's okay. This is what I have sitting right in front of me, so this is what we're going with. And we're going to peel that off. Maybe. This is also why I don't like the... Okay, come on. Oh my goodness. I don't have a weeding tool. There we go. The little ones are difficult. Now, I have played around some in Photoshop Elements, and I'm pretty comfortable with that. There's also an AI tool called Playground that I like a lot. Super easy to use. But I use that more for like t-shirt designs and stuff like that. Not this kind of stuff. It's not built for this kind of stuff. Alright. Line that up like that. So we've got this little two-sided. Trim this out a little bit. And then we will ink this because not the world's best cut job there. If you don't have distress ink or any kind of ink or dauber, Sharpies work, crayons work, colored pencils work. This is also optional. Not everybody likes this look. I prefer it, but it's 100% aesthetic. It does cover up the white though, so. And then, I mean, obviously use whatever color you want. If you don't like the browns, you know, with this you could use red, pink, anything like that. It would be nice, be cute. And trim that actually. Trim that a little bit. Oh, we might have just done that a little bit too far. Yep, every time. Yeah, so that's the danger. I'll fix that later. I try to put my tape more towards the inside of those folds. I wasn't thinking about it this time, so that when you trim, you don't trim where the tape is. So this slides down in there like that, and I'll have room to fix that tape. Got to do some adjustments on this anyway. So that's that at the moment. And then you've got, oh yeah, that wash away tape. That's awesome. You've got these little elements that go on the front. I'm just going to do one side for the time being. Hey, oh, you know, we're trying. It's nasty down here. I can only imagine what it's like in Chicago. It's 5 degrees with a negative 20 with the wind chill when I got up this morning, so that's not fun. What's it like up there for you guys today? Do you guys have snow coming your way? Like heavy snow? I haven't paid attention. I mean, you know, not that what they say is what exactly is going to happen one way or the other. I don't ever like measure the double-sided tape to kind of look at how long of a piece I should cut. I just cut it. Negative 17 without the wind chill on the. Yep, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Yeah. I know my mom was in Florida and they were going to leave tomorrow and drive back to Kentucky, and they decided to leave today and drive straight through. Not even stopping because trying to get ahead of it. So here's hoping. Snow by you, but no snow up here. Yeah, no snow for us yet, I don't think. They went from saying we were supposed to get 5 to 8 in the next 72 hours to maybe 1 to 3. But again, I think there's 2 different models that are kind of showing 2 different things. So let's see, which side do I want this one? I want this on this side. So this, yeah. So this little pocket fits down on that like that, and there's a different one for each side. So then it looks like that. And then these are the other, so those are the other hearts for the toppers. And then these are the other designs for the cups. I know it's kind of hard to see. I really got it. OBS and I need to become friends. I'm just saying. There's the other ones. And then we have a collection down there to pick up, put it off. Picking up a collection in Michigan Saturday. Whew! Be careful. Okay, so then you've got this little collection of pieces to make layered dangles. And so you've got, these are the base layers. And then you've got a little part with sentiments on it. And then you've got these little hearts. And so you can mix and match, use what you want. Don't use any of it. Use these pieces for something else. I am going to cut out this one. Now, I used a napkin paper design for this, which is why it has the scalloped edges. So you can cut those scalloped edges out or just cut straight across. Either way, if you ink it, you're not really going to be able to tell one way or the other whether you cut those scalloped edges out or not. I like how the scalloped edges look, although admittedly they're kind of a pain in the butt to cut. It's like putting little postage stamps in a design. They're cute, but you know, it's a decision about how much into that detail you're going to get. And then I'm probably not really going to cut much on the scallops on the top. We'll just do a little bit and then ink it, because that's going to be hidden quite a bit by the heart and the little sentiment. And so that sentiment sheet that's in my Freebie Friday for today is also something that you could use for these. And then we're just going to cut this one. Tony, you still here? His and her Chicago, you still here? There are a few you should check out if you guys can tonight. You should check out the Battle of the Best preview show. There's a couple of Fenton pieces. There's a uranium glass piece. I was stalking everybody's shows this morning, looking at everybody's battle items. Now, prices are gonna be kind of higher in Battle of the Best unless you get in fast, but items do run for 10 minutes. But if there's something that you really like, you could absolutely pre-bid. You know this. I'm not telling you anything. I know that's the problem, but there were some pretty cool pieces. I actually almost started sending them to you, but I was like, okay, I'll either text him later or message him later and just be like, hey, check some of these out. But I don't know what else other people who have those items might have in their shop. I didn't look at any of that. And then we have the little heart. I'm just going to cut this one because it's the easiest. I mean, I don't know that you need any help on the Fenton side. I think you guys have been pretty well stocked on the Fenton side lately, but there was a Burmese piece. There was a Vaseline glass piece. It's actually a really interesting hint on Nest. So Battle of the Best is on Sunday for anybody who hasn't ever watched it. It's hosted by CG Boomerang, Echo, and TLC Mama Bear. It's a cross-category raid train. Everybody runs for 5 minutes. You're supposed to bring your best item to the show. It is hilarious because I don't care how long you've been on this app and how good you are. 5 minutes. Yes, you guys were in it last month, right? I was in it in October, I think it was. But 5-minute raid train, and all of a sudden you just can't talk. I just words stop. So it's hilarious, if for no other reason than that. But there's also some really cool stuff. And there is a preview show tonight at 8. If you raid into the preview show with 10 or more people, you will get invited to a VIP giveaway show with CG. So that's kind of fun. And then there's 2 intermission shows on Sunday. And I think that same holds true if you raid into either intermission show with 10 or more people. You'll get invited to that show. So that's kind of fun. So I may be putting call out at about 7:50, 7:55 Central tonight for a raid into the preview show, if I remember. I gotta remember. But yeah, I was stalking everybody's battle items today. I'm pretty excited about mine. I gotta say, I was excited about my Fenton piece a couple months ago. Also, mostly just because I had something, because I got into that train like the Wednesday before. They had somebody not be able to have to drop out, and so I got the email from CG. So I was pretty excited just to be able to be in it. But I have a 1922 Daisy Churn glass butter churn. Daisy Churn is the company. It's pretty cool. It's heavy. It's going to be a nightmare to wrap. Hello, Custom Wood Burning. Happy Market Day to you. How are you? Yes, Dazey. Did I spell it wrong? Or did I not spell it at all? Dazey. So these are your 3 pieces, and you can layer them however you want. You can put the sentiment on top with the heart behind it, like that, or you can put the back piece, the sentiment, and the heart. Thank you. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was came from my step grandparents' family farm. So I've had it for a while. I've had it for like 6 years. Um, in a tub in a plastic tub in our garage. And so I was like, you know what? This piece deserves to be somewhere else. I mean, it's one of those things like that if for whatever reason it didn't sell, I wouldn't be heartbroken. I don't think that's likely. Um, but like, there's somebody out there, not that I don't appreciate it, but there's somebody out there who would appreciate it more than me, I think. All right, so we're going to put some ribbon through here, if I can get a piece cut long enough. Have you been on yet today? Or are you going on later? Everybody, Custom Wood Burning is a seller on the app participating in the handmade market. So make sure to check them out. Really cool pieces. Very fun to watch. And we're going to tie this. And then that tucks down in there like that. Demo in 2 hours. Yay. Very fun. Okay. And then there's one last piece that I added to this, and I wish Mary was on because this was her idea. So I would love to give her credit, but so in the kit there's this page of bows, and I should have a lot of empty white space there that I don't like. But I couldn't find any other bows that I liked, and I didn't have time to go play around in Procreate. And I'm not quite that good in Procreate yet to be able to make them. So I was like, you know what? There's enough stuff in here to make 3 of these little gift card holders. So we're going to do 3 bows. Hello, heightened normal, Miss Mickey. How are you, my love? How are you feeling today? Not spicy. That is okay. Not spicy is okay too. Not spicy is okay too. We have our days, and I don't think we should hide it. I don't think we should hide it. I don't think we should dismiss it. I think we need to be honest and open, and I'm sure our resident mental health specialist, if he's still in the house, would agree that when we are having those days, we got to be honest about it. Okay, yes, happy crafting. Hopefully I'll be able to jump on for a few minutes and watch you. Everybody, if you're not following Custom Wood Burning, real quick, give them a follow, bookmark their show later today. I'm fascinated by wood burning. That's a maybe someday on my list kind of thing. So thanks for hopping in. It was good to see you. Right. So this little bow is kind of this last element and completely optional because, how adorable is that if I do say so myself? Not to brag or anything. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So, this was my little demo. This was sort of the original. And I was putting it together yesterday and I was like, okay, that is a little much even for me. So I just swapped out a couple of the designs in where they were, and I like how that ended up. Okay, so everybody in Facebook world is probably like, what? She's live on her page. I never go live on my page. And the hilarious thing is I can stream to both YouTube and Facebook, even when I'm not on Whatnot, because that's why I pay for StreamYard. So I can do that, but I just don't ever think to like set it up in both places. Very weird. So we're going to ink this a little bit. The bow's a little hard to hold. And then I'm going to take this out of here to make it easier. So the idea here, and Mary's suggestion, was that you put this bow at the bottom of the heart and then have it so that the tails overlap. So I actually do need to put this back in here. And we're going to have to fix that one so that the tails overlap the holder, right? So that it looks like that. Pop that out. Now, you could do that and then not do the dangle and just have that little pocket. Or what you could do, okay, hold on. Let me get this glued in place before we start talking about options. I gotta give people all the options. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue right there. And we're going to pop this bow on here like that. Maybe down a little bit lower. Okay. And then slide it back in the little holder. Right? So it looks like that. And you could leave it like that. But then you could, instead of using and so if you put this back in there, that's what it looks like. Now, if that's all a little too much for you, which is fair, what you could do instead of creating a dangle with these pieces, undo this ribbon here. Actually, I'm going to undo this one. This was from my sample. Okay, so if you kind of ignore the hole punches in here, you could take your sentiment and glue it onto this little background piece. Or you could take your sentiment and glue it onto this. Actually, let's do that. I like that. Oh, no, not on that. We're going to do it on this. Colors are a little off here because I always do one piece, one print run on just regular paper. So you could take your sentiment and just glue it up right there. You could take your sentiment and just glue it to this. Hello, Moody, how are you? And then just stick it down in the pocket without any ribbon on there. You could also take this little heart and just glue it there. So if you like these cut out ribbon pieces, but I need to tap this back together, plus actual ribbon, right, is a bit too much, then, you know, you've got some different options for that sheet of dangle elements, if that makes sense. Okay. Ugh, perfect timing, actually. Now I have to go out in the cold. Not happy about that, but that's okay. That's all right. It's fine. I had to make sure I dug the heavy coat. I know. I'm not happy about it. Um, so, oh, interesting. That's interesting. So the show is Handmade Market and Flamingo Challenge, but I don't have winter in there, so I wonder if that was the problem. Whatnot's weird sometimes, though. Um, heightened. What's the temperature where you are? Is it cold in Arizona? Not as cold as it is here. Yeah, I think I forgot to put winter in the title. Because when I did 40s in New Jersey. Well, that's warmer than it is right now in central Illinois. I'll take it. I will take it. 67 and cloudy. Okay, I'm coming to stay with you for the weekend. I am coming to stay with you. Actually, I told my mom she just needed to buy a place in Florida and stay there. Like, you have the dog with you. You don't really need anything. We'll bring you stuff happily. All right. So it doesn't look like anybody is on in the handmade market right now. Let's see if anybody's on in the Flamingo Challenge. Moody, if somebody is on that I am not seeing, please let me know. I want to raid where I'm supposed to raid. I don't see anybody on in the Flamingo Challenge either. Journey to Morning Star was supposed to be live at 12:11, but isn't yet. Mama's Corner's not till 1. Okay, so let's see. Hello. Welcome in. So Hodge is live doing vintage decor. Let's go raid Hodge. Let's go raid Hodge. Everybody go say hi to Christine. Let's see. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Bye. I know, Girl Patriot. Hi, bye. I appreciate you stopping by. I will be back on tomorrow and Sunday and Monday. And then every Friday in the handmade market. Most Fridays in the handmade market, I should say. Winter handmade market. We're still in the winter handmade market right now. And that is not the spot I wanted to go to. So let's go raid Hodge. Bye, everybody. I will talk to y'all later. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay warm.